You didn't fail because you're lazy. You didn't fail because you have no willpower. You didn't fail because you picked the wrong habit. You failed because you kept making the decision at the worst possible moment. Think about the last time you quit something. Nobody quits on day 1. On day 1, you're excited. You quit on day 9, at 6 a.m., tired, cold, when the whole thing depends on you feeling like it. And that is a fight you will lose. Every single time. I'm not a naturally consistent person. I want to say that at the start, so you know who's talking to you. I have restarted the same habits many times. Every January, every Monday. Every time I said, this time is different. So this is not a video about being more disciplined. That advice never worked for me, and I don't think it works for you either. This is about 3 changes that take the decision away from your tired self and hand it to a system instead. The third one is the one that actually stopped me from restarting, and I'll get there, because it's useless without the first 2. Let's start with why your willpower keeps losing. Here's the part almost nobody tells you. Your brain is not broken. It's working exactly as designed. It just wasn't designed for your goals. For most of human history, the job was simple. Survive today. Eat when there's food. Rest when there's no threat. Don't waste energy on anything that doesn't pay off right now. The people who burned calories on abstract long-term projects didn't make it. The ones who conserved energy did. That old software is still running inside you. So when you decide to go to the gym at 6 a.m., part of your brain reads that as high cost, no immediate reward, and a warm bed right there. It's not being weak, it's doing math. And here's how deep it goes. Researchers estimate that somewhere around 40 to 45% of what you do in a day isn't a decision at all, it's habit. You brush your teeth, you check your phone, you take the same route, you open the same app. Nobody's choosing, it's just running. Habit researchers describe it as a loop with 3 parts. There's a cue, the thing that starts it. There's a routine, the behavior itself. And there's a reward, the reason your brain files it away and repeats it. Look at your phone through that loop and it gets uncomfortable. The cue is boredom. The routine takes half a second. The reward is instant and unpredictable, which is exactly the kind your brain likes most. That loop is airtight. Now look at your habit. The cue is vague, like sometime in the morning. The routine is hard. And the reward? There is no reward. You do a workout and you feel worse for 2 days. You read 10 pages and nothing visible happens. Your brain gets no payment. So you're not competing against your laziness. You're competing against a perfectly built loop with a badly built one. And you're trying to close that gap with feelings. That's why this next line matters more than anything else in this video. You don't have a discipline problem. You have a design problem. A discipline problem has no solution. You just try harder and fail again and feel worse. A design problem you can actually fix, and you fix it in 3 places. The first one is timing. Almost every habit dies at the exact same moment. Not the moment of effort, the moment of decision, which comes right before it. You're lying in bed and there's a question waiting for you. Am I doing this today? And you're at your absolute weakest when that question shows up. Half asleep, low energy, and there's a comfortable, easy option 1 step away. So stop answering it there. Move the decision earlier, to a moment when it costs you nothing. When I decide the night before, the morning isn't a negotiation anymore. It's just a thing that's already been decided by someone with more energy than morning me. And I make it physical, not mental. Because a decision you only made in your head is not a decision, it's a hope. My workout clothes go next to the bed the night before. That's it. And here's what I noticed. Putting the clothes on is the whole thing. Once they're on, the rest just follows. Eye exercises, moving my joints, breathing. I never have to convince myself to do the routine. I only ever have to put on the clothes. Same in my office. There's a thermos on my desk before I sit down. I don't decide to make tea. Deciding was yesterday. So take one habit, just one, and ask, what is the smallest physical thing I can set up tonight that removes the decision tomorrow? Put the shoes by the door. Fill the bottle. Leave the book open on the pillow, not in the drawer. Put the phone in the other room. You're not building motivation. You're removing a question. Now, timing alone won't save you, because you can prepare everything perfectly and still not do it if what you prepared is too big. And this next one is the one I'd keep if I could only keep one. Make it so small that saying no costs more energy than saying yes. Everyone starts too big. I did it for years. New plan, and suddenly it's an hour at the gym. A whole chapter. Meditation, journaling, cold water, waking up at 5. 6 new habits on day 1 from a guy who wasn't doing any of them on day 0. That's not ambition. That's a system designed to break. Here's the version that works. 1 push-up, 1 glass of water, 2 pages, 2 minutes. And I know how that sounds. I know you're thinking that's too small to change anything. That's exactly why it works. Your brain refuses things based on how expensive they look. 1 push-up doesn't look expensive. There's nothing to argue with. Some days I put my clothes on and I do 1 push-up and that's the whole session. Some days I drift and end up watching YouTube instead of doing my routine. That's okay. I still showed up. It still counts as a win. It is a win. Because you're not doing 1 push-up to get fit. You're doing 1 push-up to stay a person who does this. You're protecting the chain, not the workout. And almost every single time, 1 turns into 10. Starting was the expensive part. Once you're moving, momentum is free. So give every habit 2 versions. The normal version for normal days, and a minimum version so small it's almost embarrassing. On a bad day, you don't skip. You drop to the minimum. That's the difference between a bad day and a broken habit. That's the mechanical fix. But there's still one thing missing, and this is the piece that took me the longest to understand. You have to pay your brain something it can actually see. Remember the loop. Cue, routine, reward. The cue you fix by preparing the night before. The routine you fix by shrinking it. But the reward is still empty, and an unpaid loop dies. The problem is that real habit results are invisible for weeks. Your brain won't wait weeks. It wants payment today. So give it something visible today, not a treat. Evidence. Years ago, I had a tracker on my wall and a pen, and I would fill in a box every day I showed up. And I'll be honest with you, that little box did more for me than any motivation video ever did. Because on the days I didn't feel like anything, I could look up and see 9 boxes filled. 9 days of proof that I'm not the person I keep telling myself I am. That's what a tracker actually is. It's not organization. It's a receipt. It's the reward the habit itself refuses to pay you. And now the last piece, the one I promised you. You're going to miss a day. Not maybe. You will. Life happens, you get sick, you travel, you're just done. So let's agree on it now, so it doesn't surprise you. Here's the only rule that matters after that. Never miss twice. 1 missed day is an accident. 2 missed days is the start of a new habit, and that new habit is quitting. Almost nobody is destroyed by the day they missed. They're destroyed by the story they tell about it. I ruined it. I'll start again Monday. And Monday becomes next month becomes next year. Don't start over. Starting over is a lie. You didn't lose the 9 days, they still happened. They're still yours. Just continue from where you left off. Just continue from where you left off. And this is where the title of this video finally makes sense. You cannot force yourself to like discipline. I've never once woken up in love with my routine. But your brain will absolutely start liking a loop that's cheap to start and pays you something you can see. That's not a trick, really. That's just giving it what it's always wanted, pointed at something you actually care about. And after enough of those, something quiet changes. You stop having to convince yourself, because the evidence is right there. You're no longer a person trying to be consistent. You're just a person who does this. And once your identity moves, the habit stops needing defending. If you want the exact way I set this up, I made a free 1-page template for it. You write your habit in 3 versions. The full one, the normal one, and the minimum one. So you always know what your bad day version looks like before the bad day arrives. It's got the never miss twice rule built in. It's completely free, and it's the first link in the description. That's the same system behind the tracker I built, the one that ended up with over 100 customers and more than 45-star reviews. But you don't need any of that. Start with the free one. So, 3 things. Move the decision to the night before. Shrink it until refusing is harder than doing. And make the win visible so your brain gets paid today. You are not lazy. I really don't think you are. You've just been trying to win with feelings against a system that was built to beat you. So build a better system. Start small. Smaller than that. And when you miss, and you will miss, just continue from where you left off. Just continue from where you left off. Tell me one thing in the comments. What's the minimum version of your habit? 1 push-up, 1 page? Write it down, because writing it is already the first vote. I'll see you in the next one.